Marilyn Monroe didn't just become an icon. She seduced the world. She used the art of seduction to carve her place in history. So can you with your personal brand. You want to make it hot as hell, unbothered and magnetic and built strategically to attract exactly what you want. You're going to channel the same seductive energy, and you don't need a red lip or bouncy blonde hair. No, you're going to tap into your unique seductive energy. But first things first, we need a bit of a backstory and to get a little delulu. The next 3 days, 3 months, 3 years have so much potential for you. So what does that look like? You can quickly check your Pinterest boards or your vision boards from the start of the year. Mine looks like this. If you don't know me, I'm Ali. I'm a personal brand strategist. We specifically make content strategies for hotties in the adult and sex tech industry. This wouldn't be a brand masterclass without a content prompt to get a little spicy on social, so make sure you stay to the end and I'll give it to you for free. I know that I can achieve these in the next 3 months if I really fucking tried. The step between here and there that I can identify is leads. More people getting eyes on my content in my newsletter list, in my DMs, engaging and resonating with the strategy that's behind my content. And the step after that is relationships. If you're an OnlyFans creator, for example, you know that having a whale in your DMs is more valuable to you than 10 new subs on any given day. And you know that in those 10 new subs, is there a potential to be your next superfan if you treat them right? Now, I could spend the next 3 days planning out content, scrolling TikToks and Reels and saving trends, going down the rabbit hole of what my peers are doing, copying them essentially and having to swallow that feeling of, even if this succeeds, it wasn't really my idea, so I'm not worthy. Because if I do that, copying, then the content that I'm copying doesn't make sense to who I actually am at every other touch point in my business interactions. The emails I send, the DMs, the way my website's even written. So from this point on, you're never going to need to copy, no matter how spicy or vanilla your line of work is. Step 1, today's work that we're going to do is sit with yourself and have a chat about your why. If you booked my high ticket offer with me, I would be going through this with you anyway, so you can't skip this step. You can vision board it out, journal, write it in your notes app, whatever you want to do to process this. Your why is so much more than surface level. It's buried under years of experience, beliefs, maybe even shame or stigma that you've once felt. To start with the easy question, why did you decide that this was the life you wanted to pursue? And why is that? And then you ask yourself again, why is that? And then you ask yourself again, why is that? For example, someone like me might say, I am pursuing this life as a leader in my field and a category of one because I love women who build their lives the way they want and they capitalize on things that society is then condemning them for, being a woman. Why is that? Because I hadn't loved my body for almost 8 years. And once I started taking sexy photos, it brought me back to life. And why is that? Because feeling sexy is part of feeling feminine, and feminine energy creates money, opportunities, and it granted me confidence again. Why is that? Because I was busy being a good mother and a good wife and a good employee, working in marketing and doing my role as society expected me to, and it nearly killed me. Now we've got a decent answer. Sometimes that true why is really hard to sit with. But before we unleash that power, you need to see yourself the way your future audience will, which is iconic. And that takes getting a little bit delulu. When you think 3 years into the future, who is that girl? What does she spend money on? What time does she wake up in the morning? Where do her values align? What's important to her? What's her biggest accomplishment at that point? And what makes her feel accomplished? What does she earn? Money motivates us a lot, so money can be the key to the lifestyle that we desire, so you can be as delusional as is required, add some zeros on the end. And what does her vision board have on it? Those are just some basic questions to get you going. Basically, you just want to dream big and paint as clear of a picture as you possibly can, and know that free will exists. So, what would the steps be that you need to take to become that girl in 3 years' time? That woman, that man, that human, that hottie. So, write this down, speak it into existence, screenshot it, DM it to me, please. I want to see how big you're dreaming. Okay, now, as promised, this is a content prompt, and these, in my experience of several years of writing these kinds of content for my clients, this prompt always goes nuts for their audience. We're going to turn your realizations into a post, not a fluffy reintroduction, a truth bomb. And the deeper that you go, the more they'll feel it. So trust me, you can put both your answers of your why and your goals into ChatGPT or Claude if you need help kind of creating some strong and clear messaging, and we can write this together. Go back to the answers from the why exercise we just did. We're going to start with a statement that stops the scroll, and always pair it with like a raw photo from your camera roll. Something raw, direct, a little provocative. This always works really well as a carousel post, or you can sum this up in a reel if we're talking about Instagram or TikTok. Start with a statement that stops the scroll and is extremely raw and relatable. There is absolutely always something about your story that someone else can find comfort in, and therefore you are being extra iconic by being the one to say it. So for me, example, I didn't realize how much I did not like my body until I decided to book a boudoir photo shoot, which had a positive turn for me in the end. So then you can detail why everything you're doing now is for her, is for them, the person that you once were, the thing that has changed the course of your life, the realization that has changed the course of your life, and showing the transformation. Getting people to emotionally invest in your story usually always shows up as a financial investment. Whatever you're wanting people to purchase from you, whether that's a product, whether that's a subscription, they need to have a why to hook into so that they feel good about their investment. It's never a question for them. And we see this throughout marketing in history entirely. As a bonus, at the end of your post, tie it back into where you're going from now for your 3 years visionary experience exercise. So based on your why, how does this now connect to your future self in 3 years? Keep it raw, keep it real. You don't need to have all the answers yet, but having people along for the ride is how you grow your audience. When you've posted this, please just DM it to me so I can see your stories, so I can follow you back. I'd love to see how you take this exercise and make it your own. Tomorrow we're going to work on step number 2, which is choosing the right platforms for you. Gone are the days of having to be on every single platform in order to get more eyes. You want to use your strengths to your advantage and choosing the right platforms for you where you feel like you can really stand out and belong, and doing things differently will surprise everyone. And go follow me on Instagram. Amazing.